The Unwilling Mermaid. The shoal of fish swam with the unwilling mermaid to the cave where the old man of the sea lives. All along the way they sang her praises, saying how brave, beautiful and clever she was. She rather enjoyed the journey. They found the old man of the sea sitting propped up against the side of his cave, snoring loudly. "Wake up! Wake up, old man!" said the girl, annoyed. "It's not bedtime yet. The queen of the fishes sent me. I need my legs back so I can fetch her crown." What? said the old man, waking up. The girl repeated her request. "You can't do that. You're a fish. Fishes can't go on dry land." "I know that. That's why I came to see you. I used to be a girl, and I'd like to be one again if you please." Well, be sure to keep your promise and bring back the crown to the queen. If you do that, you can live happily ever after as a girl. All you must do now is swim to the beach." The girl thanked the old man of the sea and swam with the fishes directly to the beach. As soon as she felt the sand on her belly, a change came over her. She was growing legs, and very soon she had 4 of them, as well as a swishy tail. She staggered to her feet. Her new legs were wobbly, but soon she got the hang of standing, then walking, then running. "Look, Mummy!" exclaimed a small boy. "There goes a sea deer!" The unwilling mermaid had changed into an unwilling deer, or a doe to be precise. She had little stubby horns on her head. "Oh!" she exclaimed. "They tricked me! How dishonest of them! Now I'll have to keep my promise if I want to walk on 2 legs again." She swiftly ran off the beach towards the tall mountain that lay ahead. The lower slopes were covered in woods. Here a young prince was following his hunting dogs. All at once, they started to run, barking. The prince looked up, saw the delicate deer dashing through the trees, and let fly with an arrow. It skimmed over her back, grazing her skin with its sharp tip. Hey, watch where you're shooting!" called out the deer in the voice of a girl. "You might have killed me. Come back! Don't be afraid. I won't shoot you again," exclaimed the prince, who, if the truth is told, was the target of one of Cupid's arrows. "Can't stop now. I'm in a rush. I have important things to do, and I'm running late," called back the deer with the voice of a girl. The prince stood and marvelled. Onwards and upwards ran the deer. Soon she was picking her way over hard rocks. The mountain became steeper and steeper. She stumbled quite often, but fortunately did not injure any of her 4 legs. Eventually, when she was almost exhausted, she came over a crest and saw a huge castle hewn out of the rocks. It was almost like part of the mountain itself. The sight renewed her energy. She trotted over the stone bridge and through the strong, unguarded gates of the castle. "Whew, well, that part was easy," she said to herself. Inside the castle, she found a courtyard. It was empty, but not silent, because the sound of loud snoring echoed all around it. The unwilling deer looked up and saw that the snoring was coming from an open window high in the main tower. So she went inside and began to climb the winding staircase. Soon she came to a landing and a half-open door. She used her soft nose to nudge it open. Inside, the unwilling deer found an enormous and rough-looking man fast asleep on a huge bed. His boots and shirt were strewn all over the floor. A foul stench polluted the room. She hastily looked around for a crown, but could not see one. So softly, she backed out of the room and climbed the stairs to the next floor. Here she found a chamber occupied by a girl not so unlike her former self, only 3 times as big. The young giantess was filing her nails that were like great talons. And yes, there was the queen's crown sitting on the dressing table. The giantess looked up and gaped at the unwilling deer as she entered her room. "Oi, you! Get out, you filthy beast! Not until you give me the crown that your brutish father stole from its rightful owner, who is now Queen of the Fishes." The giantess threw a huge hairbrush at the intruder. The deer sprang over to the dressing table, momentarily admiring herself in the mirror, and then scooped up the crown on one of the little horns that sprouted out of her head. Then she danced about and sprang out of the room thinking, "I knew I could do it, I'm so clever." The giantess yelled, "Stop, thief!" The reluctant deer was about to dive downstairs when she heard the sound of heavy footsteps and realized that the giant had awoken and was on his way up. She had no choice. The only way was up, so up she went. On the next landing, she rushed through a door and out onto the battlements. She started to run along them. The giant and giantess were not far behind, and it seemed that there was no easy escape. As she ran, she heard a loud cry behind her. "Ah!" And then another cry, only deeper. She glanced around and she saw the giantess pulling an arrow out of her huge behind. The giant was hopping up and down with an arrow in his foot. Who had come to her rescue? She soon saw the answer to her question. Down in the courtyard stood the prince. He must have followed her to the castle. Soon, another arrow flew from his bow, and this one caught the giant in his rear end. The cry was so loud that the whole castle trembled. Now the unwilling deer had to find a way to escape. She darted into the doorway of a tower and found her way down the stairs and into the courtyard. Soon she was charging through the gate, across the bridge, and to freedom. This time, when the prince called her, she did not run from him. They made their way down the mountain together, and she had plenty of time to tell him all about her adventures.